The KSL Sports Zone and Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest and listen every Thursday afternoon to Jake and Ben for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. PK, you put the question up at Facebook. Coach Joey McGuire says Texas Tech is embracing the self-appointed role here, the most hated team in America. He dropped that quote. Why do these guys think so highly of themselves?
They really do, don't they?
They do. You're not the most hated team in America. Come on, man.
They think they are. They think the world is against Texas Tech.
Well, we've won a lot and we're really good and they hate us. No. You tried to play a player that everybody knew should be suspended for 1 year. Everybody knew it. You suspended for a year. Everybody moves on. You don't hear all of this stuff. You got yelled at a lot because you made a huge mistake. You want a team that's routinely hated year in and year out. Go talk to Notre Dame. Go talk to the University of Miami. Go talk to Alabama. Go talk to Ohio State. Go talk to USC. I can put 5 teams in front of you in a heartbeat. And I probably left some out. I bet I can find a bunch of people who loathe Michigan. Oklahoma. I should have said Oklahoma. Oklahoma should go on the list.
I love
Texas.
Michigan.
Do you love continued loves Michigan, though?
I've loved Michigan since I was born.
Okay. Yeah, loop that around. Bring that full circle.
My mother-in-law lived there. Not that she had any clue about sports.
Samuel says Alabama and Notre Dame have entered the chat. Samuel, I agree. Plenty of people don't like Bama. Get you a long list.
Okay, but if Texas Tech accomplishes what they anticipate and want to have happen, won't that accelerate the hatred? Because they were bought by money.
If you win a lot, jealousy will grow. If you obviously win because one person stepped in with a big checkbook, then you can double down on that jealousy. It can grow much more quickly.
Well, that's how they'll win.
We've seen it in other programs. Yes. The parallels with this in Oregon are pretty clear. One person steps in with a checkbook, and you are suddenly elevated multiple levels in the universe.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech has multiples.
And I don't
Cody's
think they were
right there.
Yeah, and they weren't as far down for as long as Oregon was. So it's not a perfect match, but nonetheless,
they were nothing.
Elevated several levels.
They were nothing on a national scale.
That's true. That's what they have in common. But they were capable of winning
and
5, 6, 7 games.
We had the one guy here. We had him on his sideline guy a while back, and he's saying, "Well,
Chris Level,
the Sellers is the other guy, Cody, his buddy, right? They went into the same businesses, blah blah blah, and so his wife, Sellers' wife, played softball at Texas Tech." And look at him now, right?
Texas Tech, College Softball World Series, final series.
Yeah, and the joke is they need somebody who is connected to baseball because they have a run-of-the-mill baseball program. And they should have a better baseball program, but they don't because somebody's wife or somebody's brother didn't play on the team.
The passion is for football and for softball.
Well, basketball because it's a higher profile.
Right.
And so, yeah.
But every other sport on campus.
Unless you have connection to those two guys.
The money doesn't flow your way.
Right. And so it is sort of a joke in that way, that's the way they've elevated themselves, and that's going to create animosity. I think to me, it's more animosity than jealousy. I have animosity toward them, but I don't really have jealousy. Because they have a booster who struck gold. You freaking oil stuff and all that. We know.
Black gold.
We know.
Texas tea.
Yeah, we know how it is, and so that good on them, but that's going to make me root for them to lose. Not that my rooting for them to lose has any effect on anything. I've long since realized that. And that's why I don't bother with much emotion. I just shrug. Okay, they're going to win. And that really, when you think about it, isn't that life? Big money equals king. It equals influence. It equals power. How is that any different? So if you step back, shouldn't we expect this? Because that's the way everything is.
Why would college football be different?
Why would college sports be different? And for a long time, it wasn't and hasn't been different. It's just that it wasn't talked about. It was tawdry and it was seedy. Well, now it's out in the open where Cody Campbell's parading himself around at media days and having on-the-field access. And I'm surprised he doesn't do a post-game press conference. Don't worry about it, Joey McGuire. I'll handle it.
He's going to be like Jerry Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jerry Jones in the hallway is exactly what I thought of.
And just do his own because he has that much influence. Yeah.
It's the Texas way. Jerry Jones, Mark Cuban, step right into that line.
Yeah, you get to the point where you wonder if he wanted whomever to coach, that's who would be the coach. All right. That's the system that has been created. I can't be jealous of that. And Tech will try to tell you, like the Dodgers, oh man, we've been hearing it since the school ball deal was about a week and a half old now, and they just develop players and they got all these top prospects and great, but how many top prospects actually pan out? The reality is at AAA, if you've got 2 or 3 guys that'll be players on your team, that's great. They don't. You have a bunch of guys that are there to play games for a handful of guys because they need competition, right? But most of them, they're very good ball players compared to, Joe Blow on the street, but they're not good enough to play in the big leagues. And so with that in mind, that's the way you go. And so you create these things and away they go. And I can't really be jealous of that.
James says they're only the 3rd most hated team in the Big 12. That coach has given himself way too much credit.
Well, it's the circle the wagons type of thing. Everyone's against us. They love to play that. Everybody does. Nobody believed in us. I go back to the Darryl Strawberry made a comment years ago, and the Mets won the division by August 15th. Nobody believed in us. They doubted us. No. Actually, if you didn't win the World Series, it was a gag.
You're loaded.
But they all play that. So why shouldn't Texas Tech do that?
Vernon, well, it's good they see it that way. When you try to cheat or do something not playing by the rules, people tend not to like you. I'm mad that they are not playing with Mr. Gambler. Other defenses were ready to destroy him.
That is such a blip, though. They need to embrace that, which I think they are. It's like, the Dodger thing that I was saying. The Dodgers have missed on so many guys that they've paid big money to, but they got big money and they can just recover. Where the rest of them, the Milwaukee Brewers, if they paid Edwin Diaz all this money that the Dodgers, and Diaz he's been hurt, and then he blew 2 leads the other day against the Diamondbacks. Well, then they just get somebody else. And you see, the point that I was trying to make is that, Milwaukee can pay that guy because Schoolball's saying everybody could have paid it. Anybody could have had me. No, that's not true. Because you have to have the money to absorb all these other things. Because if all the Glasgow that they paid, the Snell that they paid, and Ohtani that they paid, if those guys were humming, they wouldn't have gotten Schoolball. They wouldn't have needed him.
They're bringing Snell back for the first time since May 9th today.
Yeah, and he's been injured. He's pitched like 55 innings.
Yeah.
And they've paid him major money. The rest of the teams would be crippled if that were the case. So they need to embrace it and just say, yeah, instead of, oh, man, we coach him up. Oh. Yeah, I can't say what I want to say. Yeah.
They brought in too many MVPs.
You coach up David Bailey. Wow. I could coach up David Bailey.
They brought
he was the number 2 or 3 pick, wasn't he?
Hey, David, go get the quarterback. Okay, coach.
Yeah. You coach him up.
Playing the whole game in the other team's backfield.
You bought him up. But That, to a large degree, that's the way it's been. It just was under the table, as they say. Now it's not. And they're going to benefit from it.
We used to go in through the back door. Now we go in through the front door. What a great quote from Orgeron, who's an SEC lifer. Plus, he's at USC.
And if there was somebody down in the Valley of the Sun who had that, I'd kick back and say, sucks for you. That's the reality of the world. You've got problems. You play the victim. Sucks for you. Because everybody just goes on. Life goes on every day.
Everybody's on their own path with their own problems,
Yeah.
and they're absorbed with those largely.
Yeah. And we've got all these people in the political world. They all want to play the victim. Okay, be the victim. Sucks for you. That's the way most people look at it. Or they sit up on their high horse. Yeah, we need change. And they don't do a darn thing except for saying, we need change. Let's put a slogan in the end zone. That'll do it. Yeah, it's all cosmetic. So more power to Texas Tech. But at the same time, I hope they lose.
Houston, Game 3, conference opener. Take an L there. Make the conference race very interesting.
Yeah. I wonder, can Texas Tech really do what they want to do? Can they be Indiana? Because Indiana gives everybody hope. Because they took down all the big dogs. Whether they're a big dog today, whether they've been a big dog for history, whether they were a big dog and then slipped and now are a big dog again. I'm looking at you, Miami. They've taken them all down. So that's been fun. You can argue, well, the NIL has created more equity. More teams can participate because they can go right to Indiana and Tech. Tech at least got in.
What do you make of TCU going to the title game? Was that done old school or was that done new school?
I think it was
Old school?
Yeah.
Because I think for Tech, looking right up the road there to TCU a couple hours away and seeing them do that, it's like, when is it our turn?
I think that the world has changed dramatically.
Very quickly.
And, so anything that happened before
4 or 5 years ago
2023 doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter.
And that's TCU to the football title game. That's San Diego State to the basketball title game. The world has changed so quickly.
Right.
And you can just point it, because they lost to Georgia when the SEC was still king, and now you look at the last 3 years, and the SEC's gone 2-8 against the other power leagues in the playoffs, and the Big Ten's won 3 in a row. It really was a lifetime ago.
And I can't even remember who told me, but when the NIL was about to come, somebody said to me that this is going to be interesting for the SEC because that part of the country isn't a big money part of the country. And so the prediction, and I don't even remember who said it. I probably wouldn't tell you anyway. I'd tell you, but I wouldn't say it on the air. And because it was an active coach. I think I know, but I'm not sure. And it was
I think I know too, but I know I'm not supposed to blurt it out right now.
And so here's the deal, and it's come to pass.
Well, it has come to pass, and the thing is, you told me about that quote, and then I saw other people writing it. That was a sentiment. They were all aware. Everybody who works in that, they knew. You know, where are the most people? Where is the most money? Where are the most corporate headquarters? And they all know that stuff.
So in a sense, isn't that good for the game? Has it leveled it out?
Or has it just changed the villain? We're not sick of the Big Ten yet, but we're about to be. I don't know if we were sick of the SEC after they won 3 titles, but we were sick of them after they won 13.
I don't think anybody was sick about Indiana doing it.
Right.
And they're in the Big Ten.
But if they keep winning, we'll get sick of them. And in the meantime, if Oregon and USC join Michigan and Ohio State...
If Indiana wins the next 5... people will love it because that means Ohio State didn't. That means Michigan didn't. That means Oregon didn't. And then down in the SEC, and Lane Kiffin won't.
So Lane, see, that's the thing. I don't know if LSU goes on the list of public enemy number 1, but Lane Kiffin does. Well, as long as Lane's at LSU.
Yes, they're connected.
Right. But I just don't think LSU's won enough. I mean, they've won some. Yeah,
but he's Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
And he has been a lightning rod. And he revels in that. And then he was the coach who left, and we're going to dump on him, and somehow LSU escapes. You couldn't have waited 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Not the first
had
time.
to be right then and there?
Not the first time that his departure for another job has put him front and center. Tennessee.
Well, he professed his
Tennessee.
love to Tennessee, and then he got the USC gig.
I'm out.
I mean, just when I thought he loved Tennessee, shouldn't have taken him to Abilene. I'm drinking Jack all by myself.
Hey, West Texas, this all comes full circle here.
It do. That it do.